Hello there, and welcome to Devil's Roundup's 7th episode. We're Abby and Luke, based in Australia. We're incredibly excited to have you with us.
We absolutely are. Always good to dive into everything Manchester United, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So today, we're taking a deep dive into two, really pivotal moments for us. First up, we're going to unpack the Snapdragon Cup final against Fiorentina. That was our last preseason game, kind of a final checkup,
A diagnostic look, yeah. See where the squad's really at before the proper stuff starts.
Exactly. And it certainly gave us a lot to think about. Then we'll switch gears to the big one, the Premier League opener. That massive clash against Arsenal at Old Trafford.
Mm-hmm. More than just 3 points, that one.
Totally. It's about setting the tone for the whole season under Ruben Amorim, really showing what's changed. We'll look at the history, recent form, tactics, all that stuff.
It's a huge test right off the bat for Amorim. For the new signings, everyone. Okay, let's get into it then. That Snapdragon Cup final, August 9th, Old Trafford.
That's the one. Our final competitive run-out before the league kicks off. It finished 1-1 in normal time, didn't it?
Yeah, then we won the penalty shootout 5-4. Got some preseason silverware, which is nice, and kept that unbeaten preseason going.
Right. But, as you said, that Fiorentina game, it felt like more than just the result. It was about figuring things out.
Absolutely. Because even though we were unbeaten, that performance, it wasn't as smooth, was it? Like, compared to that Bournemouth game where we looked really impressive?
Yeah, good point.
It just showed that, with the new players, Amorim's system, still work in progress. How we perform seems to depend a bit on who we're playing. Still gelling.
And the atmosphere was pretty electric, wasn't it? Old Trafford buzzing, especially with the presentation of the new lads, Matheus Cunha, Diego Leon, Brian Mbeumo, and Benjamin Šeško.
Whose signing was only confirmed like hours before kickoff.
Crazy. And Cunha and Mbeumo started straight away. That pace they brought was instantly noticeable.
Yeah, you could see that directness.
And then, of course, the big emotional moment, David De Gea coming back with Fiorentina.
Oh, yeah. Got that standing ovation, deservedly so. And he pulled off some vintage saves too, didn't he? Reminded everyone what he can do.
He really did. Almost kept them in it single-handedly at times. Which I guess also points to us maybe not being sharp enough up front.
Well, yeah, his saves highlighted that. But look, our preseason run before that was good. Unbeaten since 2019 in preseason. Wins against West Ham, and that 4-1 against Bournemouth was commanding. Grew with Everton. The results looked good on paper.
But Fiorentina made us look deeper. So the game itself, bit of a roller coaster, right? Fiorentina started fast, scored early, 8th minute.
Yep, Simon Sohm from a corner. But we did show a bit of fight back, didn't we? Equalized around the 25th minute.
Yeah, although it was an own goal, forced by pressure from Linioro and Casemiro from a Bruno corner.
Which, again, coming from a set piece and an OG, maybe says something about open play creation. The stats were weird, too. We had, 61% possession.
More shots, more on target, more corners.
But it finished 1-1. It just felt harder work than it should have been. That killer touch was missing.
Definitely. De Gea made 5 saves for them. Alte Beindir made none for us in regular time. That kind of says it all about finishing, doesn't it?
It does. But then the shootout, totally different story. Real composure.
Oh, yeah. Flawless.
Yeah.
5-4 win.
Yeah.
Bruno, Cunha, Dallo, Ahmad with that cheeky Panenka.
Yeah, love that.
And Kavi Mainoo scoring the winner. Plus, Beindir's big save on Parisi. That showed some real mental strength under pressure.
It did, yeah. Good to see that side of things. Okay, so tactically, what did we learn? Amorim's setup was interesting.
It was. Cunha and Mbeumo wide, but Mason Mount playing as the most advanced central player.
Yeah, sort of like a false 9, experimenting maybe, seeing options with Højlund still on the bench.
Could be. And our early threat seemed to come mostly from set pieces, didn't it? Suggests the open play patterns are still developing.
And the set pieces were a bit Jekyll and Hyde, weren't they?
How do you mean?
Well, Fiorentina scored from one, some completely unmarked, big defensive lapse there.
Right, yeah, worrying.
But our goal came from one, too, and Mbeumo put in some absolutely brilliant crosses from corners, nearly got goals for Maguire and Casemiro. So potential there offensively, but definite vulnerability defensively on dead balls. Needs sorting.
Spot on. Amorim did make changes later on, didn't he? No changes at halftime, but Mbeumo and Mount seemed to swap roles a bit.
Yeah, showed some fluidity. Then later, Delake, Shaw, Manu, Dallo came on. Mount dropped back into more of a number 10 role too. Shows he's willing to tweak things in-game.
What about playing out from the back? There were some concerns mentioned.
Yeah, the build-up play seemed okay. Generally, players knew where to pass, but there was this bottleneck sometimes when the ball went to the wide center backs. It often got funneled wide predictably or forced a long ball.
Right. Not ideal for breaking teams down consistently.
Not really. And the midfield, that looked like a problem area.
Disjointed.
Yeah, kind of. Casemiro and Bruno didn't really dominate. Bruno playing deeper seemed to leave gaps that Casemiro couldn't always cover. That lack of balance. It's a systemic thing, a vulnerability.
And even with Šeško arriving just before, the need for a proper, defined striker still felt clear in that game.
Definitely. Okay, individuals. Any standouts, good or bad?
Well, ball control-wise, Bruno was superb as usual, great passing range. Lenny Yoro and Aiden Heaven looked calm on the ball. Maguire, too. Baindir's distribution, though, maybe a little bit poor, despite the penalty save.
Yeah, a bit mixed from him, attacking-wise.
Mbeumo was probably our biggest threat, wouldn't you say? Whipping crosses in, using his pace.
Yeah, definitely dangerous. Cunha looked bright, too. Very direct, saw flashes of link-up play, but like we said, still not quite clicking consistently up front.
Defensively, Maguire was pretty solid, kept their main strikers quiet. Yoro and Heaven looked strong individually.
Collectively.
Yeah, collectively, he was a bit bad. Sloppy defending at times. Zembayan kept finding space in the box, not just for the goal. And Patrick Dorgu had a few shaky moments, gave away the corner for their goal.
So the talent's there, especially the new guys like Mbeumo and Cunha adding that spark. But the overall structure, attacking patterns, defensive organization, still needs a lot of coaching focus.
So strategic takeaways. New signings, Mbeumo and Cunha bring pace and directness, which is great long-term.
Yeah.
But integration takes time, the fluidity isn't there yet. Fitness looks good, though. That's a plus.
Yeah, fitness seems all right. But the big one, the glaring issue, is that midfield. Disjointed. Casemiro and Bruno struggling to balance it. There's a clear need, isn't there, for a specific type of midfielder.
Like Carlos Baleba, maybe. Someone suited to the system.
Exactly. Someone like that feels essential for controlling games, building play properly. That and, yeah, the striker situation still lingers. Players are still learning the system. Relationships need building. Mbeumo and Ahmad, for example. Bruno looked uncomfortable deeper. Maybe his role needs rethinking.
It's a lot to figure out.
It is. And, some analysis suggests without fixing that midfield properly, we could be looking at, well, not great. Maybe even 10th place if it's not sorted sharpish. So, quiet optimism, maybe? But a lot of work to do. Fiorentina was a real reality check before the league starts.
Absolutely. A proper reality check. And those issues, especially that midfield puzzle, lead us straight into the next massive topic. The Premier League opener against Arsenal. This is where all those preseason findings get put to the test, isn't it?
Yeah, under the spotlight, Sunday, August 17th, Old Trafford. It's huge. Not just the start of the season, but the official start of the Amorim era in a competitive sense. A chance to draw a line under last season.
And for Arsenal, it's about laying down a marker showing they mean business for the title again.
And this rivalry, it's got so much history, hasn't it? Iconic moment.
Oh, yeah. You think back to the Battle of Old Trafford in 2003, that feisty 0-0.
And the Battle of the Buffet in 2004, our 2-0 win ending their unbeaten run, and the pizza throwing.
Can't forget that. And our 8-2 demolition in 2011.
Yeah.
Proper moments.
Historically, we've had the edge. 244 meetings, 99 wins for us, 90 for them. Gigs with the most appearances, Rooney, our top scorer, against them with 12.
Yeah, history's on our side. But the recent trend, that's the worry, isn't it?
Arsenal have had a good spell against us lately. 6 games unbeaten in the Premier League against us currently.
Oof. Yeah, that highlights the shift in power recently. So this game is a massive chance to break that cycle, reassert ourselves.
Definitely. And we need to remember the context of last season for us, finishing 15th. Horrible. Lowest finish in the Premier League era, only 42 points.
Attacking was poor, only 44 goals. Højlund and Xerxes got just 18 between them all season. And defensively.
Fragile. Conceded 54 goals, lost a record 18 matches. It was bad.
Which just underlines why Amorim's arrival is so important. The problems were deep, no cohesion, midfield issues, couldn't create chances consistently. It really is a proper reboot needed.
Totally. And you contrast that with Arsenal's season. They finished a strong second, 74 points.
Their attack was good, 69 goals. Saka got 10, Ødegaard with 15 assists. Impressive numbers. And defensively, they were outstanding.
Yeah, conceded only 34 goals, one of the best defenses in the league. Under Arteta, they've become really well-drilled, structured build-up, good press, tactically flexible.
And dangerous from set pieces, too, which, given our Fiorentina experience.
Yeah, that's definitely something to watch. Okay, so let's look at the recent head-to-heads. They give us some clues, right?
They do. December 24, they beat us 2-0 at their place, quite comfortably.
Then the FA Cup game in January 25, that was 1-1, but we won on penalties. We played really duped that day, didn't we? Like a 5-3-1 low block just to frustrate them.
Yeah, Bandier was immense in that one. Then in March 25, back at Old Trafford, 1-1 again. They had all the ball, but we managed the same shots on target using that low block and hitting on the counter.
And Declan Rice's equalizer in that game really exposed space in our midfield, didn't it? Showed that vulnerability.
It did. And the last league game of that season, May 24, they beat us 1-0 at Old Trafford. Narrow win for them.
So the pattern seems clear. They tend to control the game. We often sit deep, try to defend, maybe nick something on the break, or rely on individuals.
Yeah, a pattern we need to change under Amorim, ideally. So fast forward to now, we've talked about our preseason, the Fiorentina diagnostic. What about Arsenal's preseason?
Pretty strong, actually. 4 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. Some good results in there. Beat Bayer Leverkusen 4-1, Sevilla 3-0. Their last game was a 3-0 win against Athletic Club.
And their new signings featured.
Yeah, Victor Gyökeres got his first goal. Martin Zubimendi looked good in midfield, so they seem to be integrating their new face as well.
Which brings us to the impact of the new signings for this game. For us, Šeško, Cunha, and Mbeumo, that's a totally new look front three. Pace, directness, Premier League experience, things we lacked. They need to hit the ground running.
Right. Whereas Arsenal, they've added quality like Gyökeres and Zubimendi to an already strong squad. More about enhancing and adding depth than a complete overhaul like ours.
So tactically, what are we expecting? For us, Amorim's preferred 3-4-2-1. More structured possession, better pressing, calmer on the ball.
Yeah.
That's the game.
That's the ideal, yeah. But given preseason, given how we've played Arsenal recently, don't be surprised if we see a more pragmatic approach. Maybe that low block again, try to frustrate them, hit them quickly on the transition.
Especially with that midfield cohesion still being a question mark. Casemiro and Bruno need to click. The new front three's directness and finishing will be absolutely crucial whatever happens.
Absolutely. And for Arsenal, expect their usual flexible 4-3-3, smooth transitions using positional play to create overloads, that aggressive high press, and watch those set pieces.
Gyökeres gives them a different option up top. Zubimendi adds more control alongside Rice.
Yeah, Zubimendi allows Rice maybe a bit more freedom too. But the key battle, it has to be midfield, isn't it? Our known structural weakness against their disciplined, dynamic unit with Rice and Zubimendi, that's where the game could be won or lost.
Definitely. Player availability-wise. Good news, Onana back in training. Expected to start despite that preseason hamstring tweak.
That's a relief.
But Aiden Heaven picked up a knock against Fiorentina, so he's a doubt. Martinez and Mazraoui are still out, and the futures of Xerxes and Højlund are a bit uncertain now. Šeško's goes in. Maybe Mount plays up front again.
Could be an option for Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus missed some games against us last season. His status might be relevant. It's just such an immediate high-pressure test for Amorim's methods and how quickly the new players can adapt.
So, wrapping it all up.
Yeah.
That Fiorentina game, our final preseason test, it was a really honest look at where we are, show the potential of the new attackers, the pace, directness, fitness is okay.
Yeah, positives there.
But it also really highlighted those big gaps. Central midfield structure, consistency in attack. Still lots to work on.
Definitely. And the Arsenal game, well, that's the real start, isn't it? The beginning of the Amorim era proper. A chance to show things are genuinely different from last season's disappointments.
We've changed the attack significantly, but the whole system needs time. Arsenal, though, they're building on a strong foundation, made smart additions. They'll be tough.
It's more than just points. It's a litmus test. A strong performance from Arsenal just confirms their title credentials again.
And that midfield battle is key.
Absolutely critical. Given Fiorentina, the big question for you, thinking ahead to Sunday, is can our midfield suddenly find that improvement, that resilience against Arsenal's quality? Or will those gaps we saw get exploited again and, set a tough tone for the season ahead? Something to ponder.
Okay, that's it for today, folks. Remember how important that Arsenal match is as our first Premier League match. If you liked our show, you can find our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Simply search for Devil's Roundup on your favorite platform and hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. You can also find us across all your favorite social media platforms. We're really interested to hear your thoughts and opinions on the show and everything Manchester United. Feel free to leave your comments wherever you find our podcast or accounts on social media and let us know what you think. Liking, subscribing, and sharing our podcast would be a good help and a big support for us. We look forward to having you join us for our next Devil's Roundup, airing next Friday. Thanks for listening.